Today on In Your Face Anatomy, we are looking at the pelvis and the bones of the pelvis and all of the pelvic structures. All right, good luck. All right, the pelvis. So this is half of our pelvis. We can see where the femur comes in and plugs in on this side. But what we actually have here is three different bones. So this big fan part at the top, this is called my ilia. So all of this is my ilia. And then at the bottom, I've got a pointy end, and I've got more of a rounded, blunt end. So the pointy end is the pubis. So remember pubis point. And then the rounded end, this is my ischium. So this is my butt bone. My ischium is my butt bone. If you push your hand into your butt cheek, you'll feel that bone. That's what you're feeling is your ischium. So I got my ilium, my ischium, and my pubis. And again, this is half a pelvis just on one side. It makes it a little bit easier to see some of these structures. So let's look at the ilium first. So the first thing I got is my iliac crest. So my iliac crest is just this ridge of bone along the top. When you put your hands on your hips, you're actually putting your hands on the top of your iliac crest. That's what it is. So flip it all the way around so we can see both sides. This is my iliac crest, the crest of my ilia bone. Remember, this is the ilia bone, iliac crest. Then I've got my greater sciatic notch. So at the back of my ilia, you can see where the bone cuts away here. This is my greater sciatic notch. Let me get my pipe cleaner right in here. The greater sciatic notch. So iliac crest, greater sciatic notch. We can look at it from the other side. There it is. Greater sciatic notch. Then I've got my ischial spines. So that's just where my ilia comes to a point. So here is a spine. Here's a spine. Here's a spine in the back. And I consider this also a spine, but it's really not much of a point there. But each end of my iliac crest is definitely an iliac spine. Those are the most pronounced ones, easiest ones to find. So iliac crest, iliac spine, greater sciatic notch. And lastly, I got the acetabulum. So just think of like ass for your butt. That's how we remember how to say this. This is the acetabulum. And this is just the socket where my femoral head is going to plug into to make my hip joint itself. And we'll look at that in a little bit more detail when we get to the femur. So ilium, iliac crest, iliac spines, greater sciatic notch, acetabulum. Then I've got my ischium. So we're going to the butt bone next. So it's all of this back here. Here's my ischium. With my ischium, I've got my iliac spine. And this is clearly the most spiniest looking thing on my pelvis. This is my iliac spine. So here's my ilia. There's the spine. Easy to spot. There's the spine. Then I've got my lesser sciatic notch, which is just the space underneath that iliac spine. So up here's my greater sciatic notch, iliac spine, lesser sciatic notch, greater sciatic notch, lesser sciatic notch. And then I got my ischial tuberosity. So the ischial tuberosity is really the thickest part of my ischium. So this is my ischial bone back here, where the bone is the absolute thickest. We can see right here, right there. And we can almost see the little suture line that comes through. It's really faint, hard to see on here. But this is my ischial tuberosity. All of this swollen area in the back. And we use that for a lot of muscle attachments because our leg muscles are really strong. And so we want a nice, big, strong piece of bone to help secure those muscle attachments. So ischial tuberosity, ischial spine, lesser sciatic notch. And then the pubis. So with the pubis, again, that's the pointy part. First thing I've got is my obturator foramen. So just remember, foramen means hole. There's only one hole here. This is it. This is my obturator foramen. So my obturator nerve, my obturator artery, my obturator vein all pass through this foramen as they move down the leg. Then I've got my pubic tubercle, which is just where my pubic bone comes to a point. This kind of this flat part, it serves as a cushion for our neck structure, the symphysis pubis. So to look at the symphysis pubis, I'm going to put my single side down and pull up the full pelvis. So I can still see ilium, ischium, pubis, where it comes to a point. So my pubic tubercle is right on the inside of this. This is my pubic symphysis. It's just a little piece of cartilage that helps cushion and separate our pubic bones so they're not rubbing against each other. So ischium, pubis, pubic tubercle, pubic symphysis, obturator foramen. And then I've got my pubic arc. So the pubic arc is this angle that's created between my pubic bones. It's different between men and women, and that helps us at least identify the sex. If we find skeletal remains, we can look at the angle that's formed by this pubic bone. This is my pubic arc or pubic arch. And then now we can see how our sacrum fits in here. Same exact thing. If I pull up my old one and I pull up my sacrum, you can see where these two pieces are going to come together to form my sacrum as I start to piece this pelvis together. So know it both in singular bones and the full pelvis. You have to have the full pelvis to see the pubic symphysis or the pubic arc. But yep, that's it. Here's the pelvis. Good luck.